Very good morning, students. Let's begin with chapter number 11, Struggle for Equality. As we all know, in the progress of modern India, struggle for political freedom was important. This struggle was based on broad philosophy of man's emancipation. Therefore, in the course of this struggle, along with political dependence, there was opposition to things like feudalism, social inequality, economic exploitation, etc. Like the freedom, the principle of equality is very important. From that point of view, the contribution of movements built up by various social groups such as farmers, workers, women, Dalits, etc., as well as the stream of socialism giving importance to equality, which proves to be significant. Without realizing its contribution, we will not be able to understand the developmental process of modern India. Therefore, let us study some of these movements. The first movement is peasant movement. The Indian farmers had to suffer due to the ill effects of British economic policy. The British government used to protect the landlords and moneylenders. They gave unjust treatment to the farmers. On many occasions, the farmers rose against this injustice. The peasants in Bengal formed their union and revolted against the compulsion of cultivating indigo. The play Nil Darpan, written by Dinbandhu Mitra, brought to the notice of this society that praised the conditions of the peasants producing indigo. In 1875, farmers from Maharashtra rose in revolt against the atrocities of the landlords and moneylenders. The farmers in Uttar Pradesh formed Kisan Sabha in 1918 under the leadership of Baba Ramachandra. The Mopla peasants rose in a great revolt in Kerala, but the British government crushed it down. In 1936, with the initiative of Professor N.G. Ranga, the Akhila Bharatiya Kisan Sabha was established. Swami Sahajananda Saraswati was the president of this organization. This Sabha presented a declaration of peasants' rights to the Indian National Congress. The session of the Congress was held in the rural part of Faizpur in Maharashtra. Thousands of peasants attended this session. In 1938, the crops in the eastern Khandesh were destroyed due to heavy rains. The condition of the farmers were miserable. In order to get the land revenue waived, Sane Guruji organized meetings and processions at many places. He took out marches on the collector office. The peasants participated in large numbers in the revolutionary period of 1942. Let us know more about Sane Guruji. Sane Guruji built up unity of the workers. He tried to create strong center of workers union at Dhule, Amalner. He was the president of Mill Workers Union of Amalner. He went on fast unto death to open the doors of Vitthal temple at Pandharpur for Dalits. Very good morning, students. In our previous video, we discussed in brief about the struggle for equality and the first movement, which was the developmental process of modern India, is the peasant movement. Now in this video, we are going to discuss about workers' union. In the later half of the 19th century, textile mills, railway companies and such industries were started in India. The workers' group had not arose on large scale, but in this period, efforts were made to solve the problems of the workers. Shashipada Banerjee and Narayan Meghaji Lokhande organized the workers at local level. Lokhande's contribution to the working class movement was so valuable that he is described as father of Indian workers' movement. At the same time, an agitation was launched against the wretched conditions of the tea plantation workers in Assam. In 1899, the Great Indian Peninsular GIP railway workers called for a strike for their demands. During the anti-partition movement, workers carried out strikes from time to time in support of Swadeshi. After the First World War, due to industrialization, there was rise of workers' class in India, and then a necessity for nationwide worker union was felt. With this necessity, in 1920, All India Trade Union Congress AITUC was established. N.M. Joshi had a major role in the working of AITUC. Lala Lajpat Rai was the president of the first session of AITUC. He told the workers to actively participate in the national movement. Shripat Amrut Dange, Muzaffar Ahmad, such socialist leaders, by spreading the socialist ideology among the workers, worked to form militant organizations. In 1928, the Mumbai Mill Workers Union went on strike for 6 months. Many such strikes were made by the railway workers, jute mill workers, etc. The government was disturbed to see the growing strength of the workers' movement. To suppress this movement, legislations were made, and the workers' struggle proved to be supportive to the national movement. Do you know, students? The native place of Narayan Meghaji Lokhande was Kanhesar, near Saswat in Pune district. He formed the Mill Workers Union known as the Bombay Mill Hands Association in 1890. This workers' union is believed to be the beginning of organized movement in India. He was also the chairman of Mumbai branch of Satya Shodhak Samaj founded by Mahatma Phule. Due to his efforts, from 10th June 1890, the workers started getting weekly holiday on Sunday. Very good morning, students. In our previous videos, we discussed about peasant movements and workers' union. In this video, we are going to discuss about socialist movement and feminist movement. Socialist movement. Many of the young activists in the Indian National Congress felt that for protecting the interest of the people, it is necessary to overthrow the British government. Similarly, they started realizing that the society should be restructured on the principle of economic and social equality. Through this realization, there was rise and growth of socialist ideology. The socialist youths, while they were in prison at Nasik, decided to form the Socialist Party within the Indian National Congress. According to this decision, in 1934, the Congress Socialist Party was formed, which included leaders like Acharya Narendra Dev, Jaiprakash Narayan, Minu Masani, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia, etc. In Quit India movement of 1942, these young socialists were in the forefront. Indians got introduced to Karl Marx and his communism. Lokmanya Tilak had already written an article on Marx in 1881. After the First World War, the influence of communism was felt in India. Manavendra Nath Roy played active role in the international communist movement. In 1925, the Communist Party was formed in India. The work of building militant organizations of workers and peasants was done by the young communists. The British government started feeling the danger of communist movement. Shripat Amrut Dange, Muzaffar Ahmad, Keshav Nilkant, Joglekar, etc. were arrested. They were charged with planning of a conspiracy to overthrow the British rule. They were given different punishments. The trial took place at Meerut and is therefore known as the Meerut conspiracy case. Even after the Meerut trial, the influence of communist workers' movement remained constant. Feminist movement. In the Indian social system, women were given secondary position due to many evil practices. They were subjected to injustice, but during the modern period, there was an awakening against it. Some of the male reformers took initiatives in the reform movement related to women. In the course of time, women leaders started coming forward. Their independent institutes and organizations came to be established. Pandita Ramabai established the Arya Mahila Samaj and Sharda Sadan. Similarly, Seva Sadan, founded by Ramabai Ranade, are the examples of the Bharat Mahila Parishad in 1904 and All India Women's Conference in the year 1927 were founded as well. Therefore, this institutional work reached at the national level, and for the issues such as the right to inheritance, right to vote, etc., where women had to struggle through the medium of these organizations. Ramabai Janardhan Save was the first practicing women doctor in India. She delivered series of lectures related to health issues of women. She also opened a branch of Red Cross Society at Rajkot. During the 20th century, participation of women in public life began to increase. Women's participation in the national movement and the revolutionary work was significant. After the Act of 1935, women were included in the provincial ministries as well. After independence, the principle of equality of men and women has been clearly stated in the Constitution of India. Do you know, students? Dr. Anandibai Joshi, the first Indian female doctor, her son lived a life of only 10 days and then died. This sorrow became responsible for inspiring her to study medicine. She acquired MD degree in 1886. While returning to India, Anandibai contracted tuberculosis. Later on, 16th February 1887, she died in Pune. Very good morning, students. In our previous videos, we discussed about socialist movement and feminist movement. In this video, we are going to discuss about Dalit movement. The Indian social structure was based on inequality. Social reformers like Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, Narayan Guru brought about awakening of the people against the unjust treatment given to Dalits in the society. Following the teachings of Mahatma Phule, Gopal Baba Walankar and Shivam Janba Kamble worked for the eradication of untouchability. In the year 1888, Gopal Baba Walankar in his book Vitthal Vidvamsan condemned untouchability. Shivram Janba Kamble started the magazine Somavamshiya Mitra on 1st July 1908. He raised voice regarding issues of Murlis and Joktins. He also took initiatives for marriages of Devdasis. In Tamil, the Tamil Nadu Periyar Ramaswamy started a movement for eradication of untouchability. In 1906, Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde started the Depressed Classes Mission for the Progress of Dalits. But the important part of their work was to make the Dalits self-respectful and well-educated and engaged in the work, while the second part of their work was to destroy the delusive ideas regarding Dalits in the minds of the upper caste. For this purpose, he founded Marathi schools, work schools in parts of Parel, Devnar in Mumbai. He actively took part for the benefits of Dalit class regarding Satyagraha for entry in Parvati Temple at Pune, Shetkari Parishad of Dalits, Federal Electorate, etc. Rajarshri Shahu gave support to the leadership of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. During his period, he led the non-Brahmin movement. Rajarshi Shahu Maharaj made revolutionary declaration for reservation in the state of Kolhapur. He made a law for free and compulsory primary education. He did substantial work for abolition of caste distinction. And there were 3 restrictions put up in the caste system: interdining, intermarriage, and change of occupation. In this regards, during meetings and conferences, Shahu Maharaj ate food from the hands of Dalit people and overthrew the restriction on interdining. Shahu Maharaj believed that till the restriction on the intermarriage is followed, till then the caste distinction will not be uprooted. He passed the act of intercaste marriage and gave it a legal acceptance in his state. On 22nd February 1918, he abolished the Balutedari system by publishing a declaration in the Government Gazette of the state of Kolhapur. Permission was granted to practice any occupation by anyone. By giving freedom of occupation by Shahu Maharaj, the people were freed from a type of social slavery. The Justice Party did valuable work for social equality in South India, where Mahatma Gandhi took up the issue of eradication of untouchability in his hands and put it up on the platform of Indian National Congress. While at Erwada prison, he debated with the rigid Hindu Pandit, starting with the religious text of Hindus which do not support untouchability. He gave inspiration to Harijan Sevak Sangh by taking inspiration from him. Amrutlal Vittaldas Thakkar, the Thakkar alias the Bappa Appasaheb Patwardhan, these activists dedicatedly worked for equality. The struggle of the Dalits began under the leadership of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. He aimed at establishing a society based on the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. He was convinced that the injustice to the Dalits and inequality would not end unless the caste system was completely uprooted. And according to him, social equality was the right of the Dalits. He intended to carry out a movement based on self-respect. From this point of view, he established the Bahishkrut Hitkarini Sabha in July 1924. Be educated, be organized, and be agitated was the inspirational message given by him to his followers. Babasaheb Bole got a bill passed in the Bombay Provincial Assembly for the public water reservoirs to be opened to the untouchables. However, in reality, the water reservoirs were not accessible to the Dalits, and hence Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar and his followers started Satyagraha at Saudar Lake in Mahad. He also burned the Manusmriti which advocated inequality. In 1930, he started Satyagraha for the entry of Dalits in the Kalaram temple at Nashik. This Satyagraha was led by the Karmavir Dada Saheb Gaikwad. Newspaper was an integral part of the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's movement to create awakening in the society and to voice out their grief. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar started newspaper like Mook Nayak, Bahishkrut Bharat, Janata, Samata, etc. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar established the Independent Labour Party where he opposed the laws that went against the interest of the workers. In 1942, he established All India Scheduled Caste Federation to put forth the issues of Dalits in an effective manner. Through the Constitution of India, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar made a significant contribution to the creation of a social structure based on equality in modern India. In 1956, along with his innumerable followers, he embraced Buddhism that advocated humanity and equality. And the struggle for equality has a prominent position in the making of modern India. Thank you.